Oh my God, we're back!
You miss us?
Well, hello there, darlings. Here's I, Thomas Johnson.
Jeff Key.
We're the Godless Left. And I know we've been MIA from different formats and whatnot. We have podcasts on Spotify from back in the day.
Yep.
So look us up on there. But from here on out, we're on here.
Which will be YouTube and Facebook.
Zang. Yeah.
Yep.
And today, water, chief water, because we're dealing with food deserts.
Well, we dealt with that last week. What we're dealing with this week is...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Something worse.
Yeah.
Some more diabolical gentrification.
Which is a big fancy word for basically rich fuckers coming in and displacing the poorer classes. It's the invasion of the Parasite class, basically.
Mm-hmm. Case in point, Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Early 2000s, there used to be this neighborhood right in the heart of the business area. The houses look run down, they're old, they're whatnot, but it was like the lower class people and some of the minorities of the town lived there. Well, Walmart is moving back in to that neck of the woods. They wanted everything to look all nice and neat. So what do? They push their asses out so they can make room for a Walmart, McDonald's, an IHOP, fucking Starbucks.
And from what you were telling me earlier, they didn't even offer them any fucking checks.
No, from what I was told from the people that lived there, they said that it was God damn it.
Inhospitable?
It was not fit to live in. Let's put it that way. I was trying to find some fancy word to throw out there, make me look smart. I just felt like a fucking dumbass. But no, they basically told them, the houses that you're living in ain't worth living in. Bye-bye. They relocated them somewhere, or for some people, other people, I don't know. But the point is, they literally pushed them people out just so they could put all that stuff in. Only thing still left over there from those days was a small church. That's it. Because of course, there's plenty of churches there. Fuck, we live in Oklahoma. There's fucking churches everywhere, man.
Yep.
But they want to help us? No.
Because religion is what desperate people will often look to help them cope with what drove them to that religion in the first place.
Mm.
If you're broke as fuck, everyone you know is broke as fuck, you don't know how you're going to survive the next week or the next day.
Oh, Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. Help me get out of this slum. I know you can help me, so I'm sorry, no one's listening. The thing about it is, you gotta understand, people, this happens everywhere. No matter if you're in some podunk town out in the middle of BFE, or you're in the city.
Yep.
The people with power and influence, they want something, they'll take it one way or the other.
They'll find a way to get it.
Oh, yes, they will. Yes. So, now, in my neck of the woods, the city's trying to do a city buyout of people's homes. Because, back in 2019, the levee broke, the water overfloweth, damn near washed our asses away. You know, and that got national news, so that got them on ball. Here's the deal. With that happening, it made it so goddamn difficult for them to try to hush it up, push it under the rug and all that, like they did for the past 4 decades. Because back in 1970s, they had a press release through the news stating that the levee systems along the Arkansas River is damaged goods and needs to be repaired. Fast forward to 1984, and that whole debacle. The levee broke, the river overflowed, and it went all the way up into Jinx, into areas of West Tulsa. It pushed really, really far and deep. It wiped out everyone, and it was a big fucking mess. But did they fix it? No. So what they did was they did a little quick patchwork and moved on. They knew back then it was damaged goods. Did they fix it? No.
Yeah.
They had the money to fix it over and over and over again.
And instead, all that went to different parts of the town.
Oh, let's put in new restaurants here. Let's build a beautiful park right there with this historical home.
They shut down about 2-3 miles of space for this park. And that's all it is. It's a fucking glorified fucking park. That they shut the entire 2-3 miles down in this town for how many years exactly?
For almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And not to mention, they also tore down a home that was part of a historical society. It was a historical monument. It was a home that had a lot of history to Oklahoma itself. In this living museum, city bought out, tore that fucker down, made way for this fucking god-awful eyesore of a park that we almost got in a wreck driving down the other night. God damn.
Well, that may just be my driving.
No, it's just dumb motherfuckers in a very tight situation. Yeah. On a quick note, if you're going out to your car and your car has a fucking hair lip coming out the tire wall...
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah.
Don't fucking get in the car! Fix the motherfucker before you start driving. Call for a ride! God damn! Me and him was going down that stretch of road that we're talking about. Here comes this truck. Hair lip like a motherfucker. Going down the road.
And I ran over the fucking thing.
Yeah, we didn't notice it, but then about a quarter mile up the road, there's that chunk of fucking fiberglass and plastic sitting in the road. His fucking van ate it. God damn it, everyone on the road's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's not us, it's not us. It's the dick holding the Ford up ahead.
Yep.
I swear.
But what's going on in your neighborhood right now is they're offering you money to sell you...
Yes. What they're wanting to do is, for those who are interested in their buyback plan, or the buyout plan, sorry, I'm getting things mixed up here. They have to apply for an application. They have to be approved.
So fair.
They have to be worthy of their money. So, but here's the kicker. They say that they'll do a survey of the home and property. They'll kind of give it their opinion how much it's worth. Thing about it is, the property value over here, since they started building that turnpike through our neighborhood, has dropped.
Yeah.
So if they're going to compensate people with money to go move elsewhere, they need to take that in consideration. That was brought up in the town meeting, in the neighborhood meeting. They did not answer whether they would or not. So, we don't know what the fuck's going on with that. We're just sitting around with thumbs up our ass. We don't know if they're going to contribute to that, to build things up where it'll be possible to get a decent amount to find another place, or are they just going to blindly throw money at us and just shoot us out the door?
And I'm inclined to believe this is probably what you could call the first wave.
This is the second wave.
Second wave.
First wave happened back in the early 2000s over here, just like in Sand Springs. They told us that they're going to buy out some homes out of the neighborhood. And they said they're not going to buy any more homes out of the neighborhood. You know, and this is mainly for that turnpike project.
Yeah.
So now
they've gone back on their word. Apparently.
Yeah, they went back on their word. Now, since they're almost out of the turnpike, now they want to buy out more homes in the neighborhood. Okay? They're not trying to put any new shit into the neighborhood. They're not trying to build it up.
No, in fact, you told me how they used to have grocery stores here.
Well, yeah, we had about 4 to 6 different grocery stores, all within walking distance of different areas, different parts of the community. Okay? If you're closer to downtown Tulsa, you had a Safeway there, which is now the voters registration office over there on Denver.
Yeah.
Then you have on Edison a Homeland, which is now a Family Dollar and City Trends.
So real step up there. From Homeland to Dollar General.
Family Dollar or whatever. But then you go down a little bit further on Edison, you had another Safeway used to be there. It's now a karate school, which I'm okay with because the guy that runs it used to be my instructor, and he's a really cool guy. But still, my point being, just from Denver all the way up to the high school, you have 3 different grocery stores right there in that part of town. People easily walk to, get their groceries, get back home. Not a problem. On my side of the tracks, okay, 49th West Avenue where the hub is, that used to be a warehouse market. I used to work there for years. I know the ins and out of everything except for being a manager. Okay, then you go to the corner here on 49th and Charles Page. That used to be another grocery store. You go up a little ways where Neighbors Online is right now, where it is right now. That used to be a grocery store. You go further down towards 65th and Charles Page. Off across the street from where the gas station is, there used to be a little mom and pop general store, which is like a grocery store. Yeah. They had fresh produce, they had the fresh, baked goods, they had the fucking meats, all that stuff. It was a small grocery store. It was just an old, basically it's a grocery store, but it was just nice and quaint for that little area, okay? Right there. 6 different grocery stores. Where is it at now? Nowhere. Gone. And out the fucking door.
And that's how you end up with the food desert, which we talked about last week. And
so they took out all that. Then they took out the public parks and put they basically foobarred the public parks where...
Yeah, you guys used to have pools, right?
We had 2 public swimming pools that was free to the public. They got it out. They got out all the public pools. So now if you want to go swimming, you either got to go to the lake or you're going to end up finding some drunk dead body floating in the water, because that's very common in Oklahoma. People like to get drunk at the lake and do stupid shit, and then, oh Lord, Toby just fell over the boat. We couldn't find him anywhere. Leaving out on the news broadcast that he had 3 cases of fucking Budweiser and a couple jars of moonshine. He thought he was Superman. He could fly, but no, he's doing more Aquaman than anything. Okay? That's common. Okay? I'm not going to lie. Oklahoma lakes are like cesspools. Okay? You might as well go take a piss of shit in it and so then go swimming in it. That's basically what you're doing. Okay, that's one option. Other option, you can go to 21st and Yelm. And you go to Safari Joe's, water park and spend $20 or $30 a person just to get in the door. Not to mention parking, not to mention food and drinks and snacks, all this other shit. No one in this neighborhood can afford that. So, practically, everyone has to do without. That's what our city of Tulsa is doing to us. To our kids, okay? Now, the parks, they have equipment for the kids to play on. For the little kids. There's nothing for the teenagers or the older kids and stuff like that. So they're left to defend for themselves.
And what happens when you have neighborhoods that are not invested in? What happens when you have places that have no place for teenagers to
the crime
be
goes
teenagers?
up.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is, the same thing happens with North Tulsa. They're just now getting attention. They're now getting help.
Yeah, they're not getting help because our big dirty fucking secret in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
It's out!
came to light a couple of years ago. Namely, that we actually had airplanes bombing our fucking town. It wasn't just a riot or a massacre. We had fucking bombings going on that goddamn day. If you don't know what I'm talking about the Tulsa Massacre race riot back in
1921.
Yeah.
And because of this ugly event, it brought out the resurfacing of the Klan. Which, honestly, they could fucking stay buried for all I fucking care. You gotta realize, those people went through a lot of shit over false accusations and personal prejudice.
Yep.
None of that shit should have happened. These people did so well for themselves. And because of Tulsa continuously trying to keep it a secret,
Yep.
now North Tulsa is so goddamn difficult to get things turned around for themselves. People just wrote it off as a no man's land because crime took over it to a certain degree. And the thing about it is, people don't step up and say something about things in their community and try to invest in their community, show personal interest in it. Then honestly,
this is what happens.
Yeah. You know, so if you see someone doing something they're not supposed to do, don't turn a blind eye. It's not snitching, okay? It's like, hey, that's fucked up. It's calling someone out on stupidity. There's a difference between snitching and calling someone out. Okay? You see someone doing something they're not supposed to be doing, and it's hurting someone that doesn't deserve to be hurt, that's calling someone out. Okay? If, like, say, hey, I'm gonna go fuck this chick, watch my back for my girl, you know.
Yeah.
That's snitching, you know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a cheating type of person. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just saying, senseless, stupid shit you calling someone out on, snitching. Seeing someone doing something fucked up and it's criminal that's going to hurt someone severely or hurt a community, that's calling someone out on their bullshit. So, next time you see shit go down in your neighborhood, dude, call the police.
Well, calling the police can be problematic.
Considering the environment. Or, if you want to do something more creative, get the community involved.
Exactly.
Push the bad element out.
Yes.
Because honestly, yeah, it'll take forever in a day, half the time, for the police to get there. Okay, what happened?
Well,
what was you wearing?
That's if they're calm enough to ask those questions and they don't just start shooting the neighborhood dog because it's barking and growling a little too much.
I'm sorry, officer. He smelled bacon and he just got excited. It's okay. But I digress. Like, will be very. The Guardian Angels. You ever heard of them?
I'm not sure.
In New York, back in the 70s, this organization, they're wonderful people. Was started by this guy who used to work at a fast food joint. Okay. And they got tired of getting robbed and mugged at night going home on the subway trains. So they formed a group called the Guardian Angels, which is a group of people who basically are unarmed, well-trained to defend themselves, and they basically walk the streets of the community to stop and prevent crime when they see it happen. They take out the person in question, they detain them, and then they report it to the police. When they get there, they can get things under control. And they'll work with the police on statements and everything else that needs to be done to make sure charges are dealt with. These people are ex-military, professional athletes, professional fighters that literally get dressed up in their uniform, which is basically the red jackets, their red berets, and their white shirts, and then just walk the streets. They catch someone doing something they're not supposed to, they get involved, they take them down right then and there. And I really think, Tulsa especially needs something like that. Because I don't see, North Tulsa needs something like that. West Tulsa needs something like that. Because no one else is speaking up about this shit going on. Heck, North Tulsa, they had an incident where a person found their family member stabbed to death on their front porch. They didn't know about it until the next day. This is just recently on the news. Here in my neck of the woods in West Tulsa, up there on the line between downtown and Sand Springs, we had issues with people breaking into vehicles, home invasions, reckless drivers going up and down the road when kids are playing. One guy got shot at the apartment complex over here just because he caught him trying to steal his car. He chased after him. The guy pulled out a gun and shot him dead. Just because he's trying to get his car back.
Yeah.
Okay? Stuff like that happens because cities like ours and other big cities tends to try to take certain elements out of the communities, out of the neighborhoods, that leaves open this black hole that creates this criminal element. And I think, honestly, they do this on purpose.
Yeah.
Just so people on the outside won't have any interest for these areas where they can help build it up.
Yeah.
You see where I'm getting at?
The fact is that the systems that underpin our local government and our country's government are generally corrupted at this point in history. And the biggest thing that we can do is try to come together as a people.
See, our country is built on taking in people when they're down and on their luck. Okay, I'm not saying we are founded by it. I say we were established by it. Because if we were founded by it, we'd be doing what the Native Americans have been doing this whole fucking time. Minus the casinos. But, before you start doing the whole political correctness, I'm part Indian, so I got my fucking... So, you don't... Whatever, The point is, okay, our way to fight against situations like this fighting against the gentrification, fighting against the food deserts, fighting against all that, is for people in communities like what we are describing, like the ones that we're in, putting their differences aside and focusing on one thing. If there's a criminal element, anything negative whatsoever in your neighborhood, grow a pair of balls, group together, and push them out. Take away the ability for them to grow. If you cut off any ability for them to contact impressionable people, if you create a community where everyone gets involved, having fun and grow and prosper, and you're cutting them fuckers off from anything, then you're doing good.
We call our little thing the godless left. But if we are to be really serious about fucking communal change, we can't turn away people who are conservative, who are Christian, as long as we agree on one specific goal. We have to be willing to work with whoever is willing to work with you on that one fucking thing. And the other battles can be later. They can be done later. But if you're serious about, like, if you're at work and you're part of a union and you're serious about getting higher wages, you have to be willing to work with whoever's there and is willing to do the same damn thing. You can't have these contests or these filters as to who you can work with and who you can't. If you agree on the common goal, fucking unify over that.
See, you cannot go beating your chest, okay? It's not so... Nothing about no pride. There's no pride in someone trying to beat their chest thinking they're the biggest caveman in the cave, okay? No. You guys gotta work together. I may have my own beliefs. I may have my own views on things, so yeah. But just like I teach my son, there's always a bad apple in every bunch. Not everyone's bad, you know, but everyone has conflicting views and different personalities, different opinions, different views on life and how it should go about.
And we can't counsel each other over every slight difference of opinion because not a single goddamn one of us agrees on everything. So if we do that, we'll be divided and we'll never accomplish anything.
And you know what? That's what the system wants. Okay? You gotta think about it. As long as we're constantly divided and we're constantly ignorant to the big picture things, nothing's ever going to get done. No one's going to have the rights that they deserve. The communities don't have the ability to have access to the things that they need to thrive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm struggling for words here. But, you know, if we get smart with everything, put our differences aside, we can make things happen. It's happened before. Good Lord, it's happened before.
I know it's really goofy and it's stupid and maybe even slightly toxic, but I tell you, I've always taken a great deal of personal enjoyment from the fact that the Rick and Morty fan base drove McDonald's into bringing back Szechuan sauce.
Or
if enough people unify over something, it doesn't matter how serious or goofy it is. If enough people unify and enough people make their voices well fucking known, there's real potential for change in that.
Or what about the time that, not that long ago, people that were buying stock in GameStop were making millions of dollars, something like that,
and you know,
and blowing these fat cats in Wall Street out of their fucking minds because,
what was really interesting to me about that was the fact that these stock exchange programs, these stock exchange apps, did everything they could to override that, and eventually they did. proving that the stock market is really a fucking fraud to begin with.
But what's funny is GameStop was on the verge of bankruptcy until that happened.
Yeah.
So the people, the community, not only reached out and put their money in to make themselves better themselves, but they saved a company from falling apart.
Yep.
Okay? Not the government. Because the government did a lot of fucking bailouts, all the motherfuckers up there on Wall Street.
Yep.
It's the people. Unison. More than one. Muy bueno. Yeah. Muy mucho bueno. You know, the people. People fought together, put their money down, got a good chunk out of it in the long run.
They did.
A lot of kids got smart and invested it in something better, but they saved GameStop, which is a very popular game company.
And AMC was part of that too, I believe. Yeah.
Oh?
Because they were betting against AMC at the same time.
Yeah, get that. These fat cats up there on Wall Street are betting on who's going to fail.
Yep.
Companies, people's livelihoods, their jobs, and they're huffing and puffing and heckling and whatnot like it's fucking Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Okay? They're these proverbial old geezers betting they'll fuck someone's life up over $1. And that's what almost happened with GameStop.
I mean, 2008, right? 2008, right before we elected Obama.
Please come back.
When it was Obama and McCain. The reason Obama won and McCain lost had to do with how they responded to economic problems, more than probably anything else. Because in 2008, during all that shit, that's when you had a big financial fucking collapse happen that year. And you know what caused that? There were companies real estate companies that were making bets that the loans they gave to people would fucking collapse. That they'd fail. They deliberately gave people loans that they knew
they couldn't pay for.
Exactly.
So not only do they get the property back, but they also get a little something on the side too. So,
and meanwhile, all it cost was 1 million fucking homes. A lot of people lost their homes that year.
And right now, you gotta look at everywhere. Okay, look at Detroit. Detroit's one of the biggest major cities in our country. They used to be the fucking heart and the fucking brainchild to this country for decades. Now it's in disarray.
Yeah.
You know, Flint, Michigan, not too far from there. That's another community.
And you know what? As far as I know, we never fixed that. We just stopped talking about it.
Exactly. They're still dealing with polluted water up there. No one ever went up there to fix a goddamn thing yet.
But you know what I do remember from Obama when he was still president?
No.
I remember him going there, asking for a glass of water, and taking the smallest fucking sip, if it's even a fucking sip. He wet his fucking lips with the goddamn water from fucking Flint, Michigan. It's like, everything's fine, folks. I'll wet my lips with this, I'm just not gonna fucking drink it.
That day, he had 3 tetanus shots. So...
that's what they call gaslighting. Like, everything's fine, everything's fixed.
Trust me.
But it hasn't been.
Our state senators are fucking gods of gaslighting. Senator Inhofe would think thank Satan that motherfucker's retiring. Not soon enough. But sadly, there's more fucking...
We still got Stitt in fucking office.
That motherfucker will be gone by November. I hope that motherfucker's gone.
Who has apparently passed an abortion law even stricter than the one in Texas.
Yes. And please, Mother Nature, please. Oh, please. I hope a fucking crater opens up in his fucking mansion and swallows his whole fucking family whole. Because, listen, people. Governor Stitt, I like to say Governor Shithead or Governor Shit, whatever you prefer. It's up to you. But before he became governor, had a bad track record of running his own personal business, scamming families. Okay.
So he expanded himself.
Yeah, he just got into a bigger, better position,
So he can scam more people.
He got in trouble by the Better Business Bureau in Arkansas and in Oklahoma for promising to do jobs for families on their homes or whatever, but then turn around and took the money and ran. Basically what he did.
Yeah.
Never finished the job, never did the jobs and stuff, and his business went bust. So now that, I'm a successful businessman. No, you're not. You're a fucking scam just like Trump was. That's why he's so fucking hard-pressed to want to be president. No one's going to... Okay, listen. This guy looks like a retarded Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle looks retarded to begin with, okay? But this one lost the extra chromosome during birth, okay? And as soon as he got into office, okay, he found every way possible to try to scam and manipulate funds and everything. Okay, when Trump and Biden were doing the big budget deals to help people through the pandemic, he mismanaged the funds. So was it okay? When they came to us, okay, so what did you spend the money on? He couldn't answer it. So now he's struggling. And then he attacked the Indian tribes.
Yep.
So what he did was, since he cannot explain himself why he cannot explain why he handled the funds the way he did or where the money is, he decided to trump up this fake compact that wasn't even in his authority with the tribes of our state for gaming licenses and all this other stuff, for casinos and all that stuff, which is a federal deal.
Yeah.
That is handled through the federal government, not state government. So what does Trump do? It's like, gaming compacts due for renewal, and this is a new proposition, new deal, new all that stuff. And the tribes are smart about this shit. It's like, bullshit. We're not signing it. We're not doing shit.
Yeah, they took him to court and they fucking won.
And he got pissed on that.
Yep.
Because he couldn't get none of that engine money. So, fast forward, the McGirt law happened, where the tribes are not only had authority over crimes involving their own people and their own land, but also they have more power over they got more of their land back from the federal government. Yep. So they have more claim on things and everything else. Pissed it off again. Because now they're reclaiming property that was claimed by the Oklahoma State that was used for oil and all this other stuff. Well, now the tribes got that and the mineral rights back, so he's throwing a little fit over that too. Okay, trust me, I know this might be going off subject here, but there's a purpose. Okay, just hear me out. Okay, he is fighting the McGirt law, saying that it's not fair, letting criminals out and all that stuff, is demonizing all that stuff. No, it's not. Basically, what McGirt law is doing is this. Those who are tried, those who are arrested that are Native American or on Native land, or the victims are Native, they're all federal. Okay? He's complaining that they're not working with the police and all that stuff. The problem is the Native police, Light Horse, whatever, and the tribes have all said, we will deputize city, state, police so that way we can all work together. So that way there's no fucking confusion, no mix-up, or nothing. Everything can work smoothly. Our prosecutors can work with their prosecutors. Everything will be in unison. They did not want that. They did not accept that. They pushed that away. You know, and people don't realize the tribes have been producing billions of dollars of money every year, and they put those billions of dollars into the state. Not just a small portion, they put billions of dollars into the state to help with the revenue of everything. Because we're in this together. We're in this community. That's how they see it. That's how we all see it. But when you have people like Governor Stitt taking that money and fucking off on stupid shit like this anti-abortion law,
or the trans bill,
and many, many more laws to come, including the laws that basically demonize and restrict teachers from actually teaching anything worth a damn to our students and our children, because Lord forbid they ever talk about anything other than Jesus, you know.
The funny thing about talking about Jesus and the Bible is you have verses of the Bible that talk about the semen of donkeys.
See, they're talking about donkey shows in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Oh. Jesus and Tijuana, way to go. You know. Anyway, you were saying.
So, there is plenty of sex, death, murder, and all kinds of disgusting shit in the good book.
But yet, Lord forbid they ever read the book of the Outsiders. Or To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, Lord forbid. Or Shakespeare, for that matter. Oh, dear Lord. My God, my child is learning an education and culture. Oh, why? I just want to be fucking dumb and ignorant and religious. They go burning fucking crosses and fucking sisters. Yeah. That's what we're trying to pull away from, but yet these...
Yeah, because we are the second worst funded state in the country, I believe.
Yes. And...
as far as education goes.
We are like damn near the bottom of education.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. My son's textbooks don't even have half the shit he needs to answer the questions for him to turn in for his schoolwork.
You know what we do have a lot of in this state? At least three. We have at least three private, for-profit, funded by the government, but still somehow private prisons. So we don't fund our schools, but we certainly fund where we're going to lock our citizenry up.
Mm-hmm. But I believe in Jesus and the death penalty. Hallelujah. Mm. Yeah. See, it is fucking insane because the state gets kickbacks from these corporations that run these prisons. Like, hey, we got this. Here's some money. Just go play.
Not only that, but what I really like to point out to people when it comes to private prisons is private prisons usually have a quota.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if they don't have enough beds, if they don't have enough people, they will extract a fee from the government. Well, the government doesn't exist independently. It doesn't have its own money. The government's money is taxpayer money. It's our money. So if there's not enough people in prison, it's the people that are going to have to pay for that, literally.
I'm sorry, but I think it's horseshit. But you keep on voting them fuckers in. That's on you. That's on you. So, do you want this shit to continue? Wherever you may be, wherever you may are. That didn't make no fucking sense whatsoever.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are, wherever you may be. If you're in a situation like we are, where the city doesn't really give a fuck about you.
Well, your country doesn't give a fuck about you. I can tell you that right now.
That's true, too. The people might care about you. The community might care about you.
Our government doesn't.
No. Sorry.
We're not really a
total
democracy.
Boss.
We're an oligarchy. There's a bunch of rich motherfuckers and they own the government.
And a lot of them are these fucking evangelicals. Oh my fucking God. That's a whole... We did a fucking podcast a while back on Spotify. It was
our very first one.
Oh my goodness. These motherfuckers, I swear. And I'll go on another rant on this shit too. I swear to Satan I will. These motherfuckers like, oh, in the name of Jesus, please, Lord, deliver me a new $1 million jet. Kevin Copeland.
Yeah, deliver me a new $1 million jet, because if I'm with the people, I'm surrounded by demons.
I'm in a tube full of demons.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Gene Simmons' dick. You're in his dick, right? You know, they're swarming around with all the demons. It's like, I want to rock and roll man. He's a devil, I swear. Yeah. Good Lord. I mean, Kevin Copeland has a fucking compound. Compound. Not a house, not a mansion, a fucking compound. I swear, the way he's living is Jim Jones' biggest wet dream ever, okay? Everyone's dumb, obedient, stupid. He has his own TV network. Cameras all around him. Money coming in all day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Several jets all over the place. Armed security. The fucker has armed security, okay?
And it's all for Jesus.
It's for my mission work. Okay. I go spread the word of Jesus all throughout Colombia and bring back tons of cocaine. Just so I can be prepared for my next sermon.
Yeah, it was creepy as fuck when he did those.
Oh, God, yes. That was fucking hysterical. Like, when Trump lost the election, I thought the fucking guys in the back operating him was like, shit, he's busting a fuse. He busted a fuse, man. Keep it cranking. Work the arms. Work the arms. He was like, ha, 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 ha. Fuck, chip went out. Chip went out. Cut the commercial. Cut the commercial. You know. You notice all the people in the audience like laugh along with it, like ha 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 ha.
He broke. We're gonna have to put him down. Maybe replace him. Maybe repair him. We'll see.
The cc's of cocaine and a couple whores of Tijuana and bring it right back. It's never Jesus. And that motherfucker was trained by another Oklahoma favorite, Oral Roberts. I'm sorry. Who the fuck, as a pastor, preacher, televangelist, names himself Oral? Okay? I'm sorry, but there's some undertones of that one, especially with what's going on in the churches nowadays.
Well, mostly I remember growing up hearing from various Christian religious sects that the most powerful position was on your knees.
So same thing in porno. Oh my goodness. No. People, you gotta understand. You have a bunch of nutcases manipulating people in higher places. Like, example, Kevin Copeland. Well, this ain't Kevin Copeland, but I'm saying. People like him.
Or Satan.
People like him influence people in Washington. Just like fat cats and big corporations influence people in Washington. Because they want their own agenda heard and pushed forward. And if they want that done, what do? They throw them tons of money as campaign donations. And it'll be like, oh, Pat Robertson or Kevin Copeland just sent me $6 million in my campaign donation. This is their request, sir. Okay, put a bill against this anti-abortion. Okay, gotcha. I'll get to him in, the next session. I'll get him covered, okay? I'll have someone write it up. That's basically how that shit works. Yeah. They'll basically shoot them a big donation and then follow up like, hey, buddy old pal, you know that situation I'm dealing with? Can you just do something to make that go away? Or, I hate them queers. Can you just make a bill, read this, just put them in camps or whatever? That's how that shit works. Yeah. They're not working for us. They claim they are.
They're not.
And basically what it is when you go vote, you're trying to figure out who's the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah.
That's basically all you're doing.
Most people don't vote for somebody. Most people vote against somebody. Nobody was voting for fucking Joe Biden because nobody wanted Joe Biden. Not even the fucking blue diehard Democrats wanted fucking Joe Biden. You know why we have Biden as president? It's because nobody wanted 4 more years of fucking Donald Trump. That's why.
When Bernie Sanders was running for office, everyone got behind him.
Except for our mainstream media.
Yeah. You know why?
They acted like that was the second coming of the Fourth Reich.
But that wasn't true. I mean, the guy...
No, it wasn't.
The guy was basically spinning truths about shit that people wanted.
Yep.
Problem is, corporations runs the networks. So therefore, they cut him off that way. Corporations has politicians in their pockets, which outnumbered that one politician. No matter what side of the aisle you're on.
Quite often with mainstream reporters and pundit heads, they're actually related to either the corporation people or the politicians. You have Andrew Cuomo is what comes to my mind, the quickest, easiest.
Mm-hmm. So
his brother works for what? CNN, MSNBC?
He used to. CNN.
Yeah.
So when Cuomo left, not too long after, he got fired.
Yeah.
For his...
But it wasn't until he left.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah. So... This gives you a full perspective of, from the grass levels to the major leagues, how the corruption is with these officials. And if you really want to make waves to get things to change for the better in your area, like mine, I've been fighting over a year with city.
Yep.
With city representatives, just people that's supposed to be representing us in our neighborhood. I've been fighting with them. I've been emailing them. I've been meeting them in person, catching them in neighborhood meetings. Explain to them, shit's not right. People have been voicing their opinion right along with me about the same thing. We're not getting anywhere closer to what we want. But slowly but surely, some people in our community, in our neighborhood, are pulling together and trying to voice what they want to say. But it's
That's the only way you ever do anything.
But until we get some of this negative environment taken out of our neighborhoods, we're going to be stuck in this hellhole. And I love this neighborhood. I love this community. I grew up here. I've been here since 1987. My son said his first words, did his first steps in this house. Okay? This has a lot of history here for my family. Don't really want to leave it. I don't really want to move. There's still people here that I care about. But if it's up to the city, we'd be out in our ass. And they can give 2 fucks less, you know. So, take the element out. Take the bad element out. Whether it be the fucking gangbangers, whether it be fucking punks trying to break into shit, whatever it may be, pull together as a community and tackle that issue. Take it out. Whether you use the police or not. As long as you don't kill no one, I'm okay. I don't want that shit coming back on me. Well, Fat Man said go kill the fuckers. I didn't say that shit. I know people can be fucking ignorant, so I'm just laying it out there, man. You know, you take the bad element out. Clean place up. Get the neighborhood on board.
The only chance we have, whether it's locally, it's statewide, it's national, the only chance we have is fighting with each other, not against each other.
Mm-hmm. See, mind you, I'm in a neighborhood surrounded by churches, and I'm a Satanist. Okay? But I still work hand in hand with them people at the community center and try to come up with solutions. Fuck, me and my son, we go out and give blankets and food to homeless people when we can. We did that all throughout the holiday season when we could afford it, when we're out there and all that. Okay, I mean, we have friends that have been homeless. We have some that are still homeless. We know kind of what they're going through. We don't like it. I've sent solutions to cost effectively create a environment where the homeless people could have their own individual homes, little mini homes. I suggest that, you know, they could prove themselves not to be violent. They can get themselves clean if they're on drugs. Provide them some low-level city job, you know, like working on clean crews, cleaning up beside the highway, or, you know, agriculture, just planting trees and stuff like that. Something where they can earn a check, earn a living, have some dignity, you know. They shut that down the heartbeat. Their solution, they're taking these rundown, cracked out fucking motels and converting them into little homeless shelters. That's just creating another shelter that's going to create a fucking nest egg of fucking chaos, because a lot of these homeless people that don't go stay at the shelters don't stay there because they're either getting assaulted, getting violated, getting raped or molested, and these shelters are understaffed. They cannot see what all's going on there. Mind you, there's kids in these shelters too, and you have people that are running from the law that tends to dip in there try to hide out.
Yeah.
So, creating another homeless shelter is not fixing the fucking problem. It's just adding to it. If you give them a sense of home, give them a dignity, give them a job, then they can help contribute to the community rather than being a delinquent to the community.
Yeah.
And it'll make them feel better. It'll make the people in the community feel better. They did not want to hear about it. 3 different representatives and another city official higher up over them. shot that down real quick. Even though it would have been a lot cheaper doing it that way than flipping a fucking motel known for crime and violence.
Because the homeless people are there to scare the shit out of you. Make sure you keep coming back to your fucking jobs so you don't become one of them.
A lot of these people are good people, they're just misunderstood. But I know we kind of got all over the place over a lot of things and stuff, but it all fits into what we're talking about, gentrification. You know, all that from the ground level on up. That's cause and effect. Hope you guys learn something from this. I hope you guys be proactive with your community, help everyone out. You know, I'm Thomas Johnson.
I'm Jeff Key, and until next time, remember, the people united will never be defeated.
Ditto. Take care.